What's up you guys, welcome back and welcome if you're new. In today's video, I'm going to show you just exactly how to black out your side view mirror blinkers. Because as you know, these do come in chrome. So we're going to go ahead and show you just exactly how to black them out for under 10 bucks. So if you are interested and you do end up wanting to purchase this product, it's going to be in the description box below. So let's go ahead and get into the video and I'll show you how it's done. So before we get into it, I wanted to go ahead and show you how it looks. So this is the factory one. As you can tell, it's chrome and I don't like that. Let's go ahead and look at the other side, which is already done. So once it's done, it's going to go ahead and look like this. As you can tell, it looks nice and black now. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and pull this panel back. Don't be afraid. It pops right off. It's just held in with clips. So there you go. So as stated, there's a clip and then it's held in right there as well. And these just kind of were inserted in. So it's super simple, nothing too hard. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to notice right here, there is a screw. Right here, there is another screw. Go ahead and get your Phillips head and remove those. Super simple, nothing too hard. If you are afraid of doing this, you could do this mod without actually removing it. I'm just going to go ahead and remove the actual mirror signal because it is a lot easier to work with if it is off the vehicle. But as stated, you can still do this mod with leaving it on. Let's do it. Alright, so let's go ahead and pull up right here gently. Once you've done so, you're going to notice right here there is two tabs. Go ahead and push those in. And be careful not to yank on the light too hard. So on the back side there is the turn signal wire harness. Go ahead and push down and release it. So let's go ahead and get to the prepping and installing. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started on how I blacked out the other one. So basically what I do have here today is going to be this right here. It's just transparent wrap. That's basically all it is. It is under $10. And when you do receive it from this company, it's going to come as a bigger sheet and you do have to cut it in half. That way you have enough for one side and the other side as stated. And if you do want to end up purchasing it, it's going to be in the description box below. I would say this is probably more of a budget type of install because it is under 10 bucks and you may mess this up if you don't know how to wrap, because I don't know how. So I honestly might mess this up. There might be air bubbles, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a try. For the price, you can't beat it. But if you guys don't feel comfortable proceeding with this or anything like that, I'd probably recommend going with the Miso Customs mirror blinker, which those ones already come blacked out and they're a little bit cooler than, of course, the factory one. But if you want to stay in the budget, go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and get started. So now that you did remove it, basically what you want to do is you want to go ahead and get some soapy water. Go ahead and clean it off as best as you can. Make sure you remove any dirt, debris, grime, anything like that. So that way the wrap can stick to the actual lens. You don't want this popping off anytime soon. And what I like to do whenever I'm laying down some sticker, anything like that, I want to go ahead, I like getting alcohol and then also giving it a wipe, just to kind of help out as far as the cleaning process. But once I'm done cleaning it off and it's now nice and dry, I'm going to go ahead and start with the actual process of this. I've never really wrapped, so I'll be honest, I'm not sure exactly where to start, so I can't recommend you how to do it. I'm just going to show you the process how I did it, and then I'll go ahead and give you the after. And then of course at nighttime I'll go ahead and turn these on when they're on the truck, so that way you guys see how it looks. One thing that I did want to note, since we are working with this type of vinyl, one, as stated, I don't know what I'm doing exactly, but what I do know is you don't want to use the heat gun too much on this, because then you can crinkle it, or over time, since heating it up does kind of stretch the material, over time it's going to stretch back and then it's not going to look well. So if I was you guys, I would recommend probably staying away from the heat gun. So I've reached a point where right here you can't really do anything, at least for me. I mean, you guys that probably do know how to wrap are thinking I'm crazy, but right here at this point I can't really do anything. I've already tried moving the material, kind of playing around with it, and it's just it's gonna crease, and I don't want to keep creating tension because it could rip. So at this point what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna use my heat gun very slightly. Once I'm done with that, now I can go ahead and play with it a little bit more and kind of just sink it in to where I actually want it to be sitting. And you want to do this, of course, before it actually dries. Alright, so one thing I did want to point out, I don't know if you guys can tell, but sometimes I'm like pulling it back up and then bringing it back down. So the reason that being is because I do get small creasings or little like air bubbles. So you don't want to try to like pop them out because they won't really go anywhere and you might mess something else up. So by you pulling it back up and then bringing it back down, you just kind of allow the air to come out, and then you go ahead and pretty much begin the process again. So this is time consuming, but as stated, it is a budget way and it still will look good. So let's keep going. So now that I'm basically done with it, all I gotta do now is pretty much trim off the excess, and then of course I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with the heat gun one more time just to kind of make sure it actually seats properly on the edges. I'm not gonna do it for too long. I'll show you what I'm gonna do. So in this process, you do want to get a very sharp fine point knife, or what I'm using is just a box cutter because that's all I have. There is special knives out there for this, but I'm going to be using just a box cutter that's brand new. So let's go ahead and cut into it. Alright, so what I did is I basically used this black kind of like material rubber sealant. I used that as my outline when I was going around cutting the actual material off. I did all that all around, of course. And now that I am done, as stated, I'm going to go ahead and kind of hit it with my heat gun one more time on the edges. Put my finger right through it and just kind of make sure that it seals properly. And there we go. So for my first time, I think it actually came out pretty good. The only thing I did find out was right here. I did notice when I was peeling it off on the material itself, it had like already dust or something. So it might have been that. If not, if it was my fault, okay. But yeah, that's probably the only thing that I did notice wrong, those two air bubbles. But everything else actually came out pretty flawless. I'm excited to see how it's going to look on the truck. I'm going to exactly show you how it looks at night. Want to go ahead and purchase them, you already know where to go. Let's go ahead and reinstall this exactly the way we took it off and show you guys. Of course, now that we're all done, we're going to go ahead and reinstall it. Started with this side and kind of moved my way back. Now it's clipped in. Let's go ahead and show you how it looks when it's night outside. Okay. All right, so now that way you guys can see it at night. So there it is. Still looks bright, still looks good. You can still see it. Let's look at the other side. If you guys did enjoy today's video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to share the video to keep growing the channel. It helps you guys out and it also helps me. As far as giveaways, they're coming some more.